inappropriate dude that I am, and you guys started sharing it back with me, and I became a person that I am extremely proud of because of the fandom, period. I say it with 100% certainty that I would not be able to be the actor that I am, the friend that I am to my friends, the husband that I am to my wife, or the father that I am to my child, had I not had the experience of these conventions over the last 8 years. It made me realize that people are people and people are different. Everybody deserves a hug and everybody needs a hug. And that's what we do for each other. And it's fucking incredible. And you need to remember, the people that are new here, you are part of one of the most extreme and most special families you'll ever be a part of. You can depend on the person next to you, whether you know their name, in any circumstance. You can meet them, and they will take care of you, and you will take care of them. That is the Supernatural family, and that's what we've made here. So thank you for that awesome question. And also, if you have a chance, read the book, get the book, Fangasm, A Family Doesn't...
And don't love.
Ah, whiskey. Here we go. Look, this is what it looks like. It's a really good book, and a lot of very important people, I mean, not important because we think they're important, but important because you allowed us to be important, have written chapters in it, and it's very truthful, and it's very honest. Highly recommend it. And who wouldn't take that advice from a man wearing a rainbow tail? That's how you know you can trust me, ladies and gentlemen. Like if I had a suit on and a tie and a proper haircut and I came to your door and I was like, listen, you need to buy this book, it's fantastic. Don't trust me. But if I came to the door and was like, hey, you made me awesome and I'm proud of myself, read about it. Anyways, next question before I let the whiskey talk anymore.
Hi. How was your experience on the set of Kings of Con?
Holy shit.
You're welcome.
First of all, let me start by saying there will indeed be... Does everybody know what Kings of Con is?
Yeah.
If you don't, whoever said no or remained quiet, all the people that said yes, make sure those people see Kings of Con. Kings of Con was created again because of you people. Period. There will be a season 2. I don't know. It won't be on Comic-Con HQ, which is not sad. But, you know, it's going to find another home, and I think that other home will be bigger. The show is so damn good, and those Rob and Rich are so effing talented. I'm going to say effing from now on, if I don't curse it too much. They're so unbelievably talented, and I can't tell you, to be a young guy, you know, I look at Rich and Rob as my mentors in the business. I look at them as mentors, as how I want to be a husband to my wife and kids, how I want to be a friend to my friends. You know, I look up to them so much, and so I was so flattered when they asked me to be in their comedy that Rich is going to direct and Rob's going to write. I haven't done a lot of comedy in my life, so I was nervous and I was terrified. And then I got on set and I went, holy shit, we're just mimicking a convention. I can do this. And then they told me, hey, we need you to be a real asshole. And I said, guys, the actors that I auditioned against in Los Angeles gave me the proper motivation. I've run into some real special guys along this journey trying to get a job and make a living in the entertainment world, and boy, there are some pricks out there. So, Matt Cochran, Kings of Con character, is very much based off almost exact situations that I've had in or around the audition process. And it's just like where you have somebody in your face, another fellow actor that's got a bigger resume than you, and he is just a piece of shit. Like, no humanity, just nothing in him. So anyways, let's jump into the Kings of Con experience. It was, imagine this, right? Imagine you look up to two guys more than anybody else in the industry, more than Al Pacino or Benicio del Toro or any of the greats. I look at Rob and Rich as my greats. Those are the guys that I want to be like. I believe that they're so talented and so driven and so capable. I want to be like them. So when Rob hands you a script and he's like, oh, here's this nice half-a-page monologue I wrote for you, and you think, holy shit, how do I make this come out funny and without my voice cracking because I'm so nervous? And then you have Richard going, okay, listen, Matt, I need, you know, this is what I'm gonna need. And he's like in my ear, and I said, the only thing I can do right now is trust these two men that I look up to. And that was what it was. It became the most fun work experience. And I hate to say it, but more fun than being on Supernatural, but very similar, because the entire cast of Supernatural was there. Every single one of us were on the set at the same time. It just became spectacular. It became a place where I could be comfortable enough to try to be funny, which is not, you know, like, I feel like I can be funny for you people. I'm physically funny, I can be improv funny, but like, when Rob Benedict writes words that are so good, and there is a technique to say them, and an artistic style to say them to be funny, you're scared to death, because you don't want to let him down. You don't want to let down a man that you look up to. And so it just, you know, you got to manage the stress, and you got to manage the Richard. You know, and then it doesn't help because Richard's directing, right? Richard's like, all right, so look, I need the shot here, and Matt, I need you to walk up here with your green drink, and I need you to say this and this. And then Rich is like, but I'm going to be right next to you, so I can't, I'm going to be in the scene also. It was just a really, really crazy experience, and I assure you, the ideas for season 2 will blow your mind. Because we have had a whole lot of funny shit happen since season 1. These international conventions always, they give us some stories, and we have all have barely seen our families for a half a month. We're not going to see them for another half a month. And the shit that goes down, oh man, we're just all lucky to be alive and not in jail and safe. Like, when we're on this stage during a convention is the only time we're safe. The entire weekend. I don't know if that's the right answer, but Kings of Con set was awesome.
It's a great answer. And by the way, you're great too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Hello again.
Hello again.
So my question is, I know that you've already kind of touched on it, but there's been, I guess as well as the actors, there's been a lot of personal growth within fans individually as well. So, you know, some people have managed to come up here and ask questions, or people have been on stage. But for you personally, what would you say is the one thing, or what would you say has been, I guess, the thing that you wouldn't have done before, or been the biggest change for you from a personal perspective? So it could be anything.
I think the biggest, you mean as a result of doing conventions or Supernatural, or just the journey?
I guess as a whole, in terms of everything, because it all kind of is blurred into one over the years. So, you know, the conventions are as a result of being on the show, etc. So I guess as a result of that, over the years of having done that, is there anything that you wouldn't have ever naturally done, but now you feel so comfortable to do that you don't even think about it? Are there things like that that you would be thinking?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. You know, there's so many. There's so many things I wouldn't have done had I not been on Supernatural, and had I not been to be a part of the conventions and meeting the fans. Like first of all, I could never do this. You know, stand up here with a microphone and look at these lovely people all around me and be so happy and comfortable. This isn't something that comes natural. You know, the number one fear, right, in society is public speaking. Yeah. That's a fact, right? Is that science? I'm looking at you because I feel like you know all the answers. She said yes with her conscience. So I would have been terrified to do all that. But more importantly, I was such a closed book. I was raised by a single father since I was 18 months old. My father we weren't poor, but we were very blue collar. And so I was the latchkey kid. I was the kid that, until I was old enough to go home, my dad would drive me outside of his mechanic shop, and I would sit in the back hatch of his car until he finished working, and then I would go home, and I just wouldn't talk to people. You know, I was a kid in a grown-up's environment, and I would sit there. And then once I got old enough to drive and get home or get picked up from school on the bus, I would go home, and then I would open the door, and I'd sit there, and I'd do my work, and there'd be like construction going on across the street, so I'd just like sit outside and watch construction. I was so independent and a loner and closed off, and then I came to LA and I met a manager, and she's like, you need to drop out of university and try acting for a year. And it kind of worked, you know. For the first 6 months I was in LA, I rented a hotel, and I would go back there every night and just sit. I would have there were months when I lived in LA on a twin short mattress. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's about 3 foot wide and about 5 foot long. And I'm 5'11", so you can imagine how I looked sleeping on it. I wouldn't talk to people for months at a time. It was crazy, right? I just had I didn't have the ability to make friends and socialize. I didn't know how to do it. I had been raised for so many years to be quiet and tough and hold your tears in. Just be a man, as they say, you know? And then I became an actor, and I realized, holy shit, these people want to pay me to cry out 24 years of emotions. I can do that. I need to let it out at this point. And through trying to allow myself to shed emotions and bring emotions to the surface, I think I became more open to you guys, and then you guys opened me more. I've heard stories of death and stories of life and stories of changing lives. I've heard all these stories, and I want to hear more, and it's changed me. You know, and I think that's what I've gotten from all this. I've gotten a massive friend circle and a massive circle of people that I think I can help and can help me. And that's all I want to do. At the end of the day, none of this shit matters. You understand that? Like your job and your clothes and your shoes and everything you buy and everything you do is just something to take up time, because the most important thing you could do is be humane to each other, right? We want to help each other. At the end of the day, one of these days, in a long time from now, we're all going to be part of the same dirt, right? It sounds grim, but it's not. So while we're here, why not have the best fucking time we can, right? I could not agree more. You guys, how about Reeve and Jason joining me on the stage? We come bearing gifts. That's all right. I come drink all the gifts.
Well, we heard you were out, so we brought you some more apple juice.
I am not mad at you. And this is another thing I've gained. You want to know what's really changed about me? These are my friends. First of all, I met this guy 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. I know kind of a lot about him already. Cheers, gents. It's a real pleasure. Make some noise for these guys and make some noise for us drinking. I love, you know what's great? You're nailing it. But I love that it's only Scottish or Irish songs when it comes to drinking booze. It's like, no, Italians don't drink, English don't drink, Americans don't drink, just Scots, Irish.
I can tell you from experience, I learned last week, they do like to drink a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah, a little bit.
What'd you do last week?
Well, we did another convention, Matthew. We hit the ground running.
In the Birmingham?
No, in the JIB8.
Oh, right, a JIB8. We were kind of touching on JIB8.
There were some Scots, some Scottish folk,
Some Scottish folks,
some Irish folk.
Were they doing some drinking?
They were
Some drinking?
a little bit.
All right.
I'm so sorry, we totally crashed this panel. You have like an amazing question lined up, and you can ask it in 1 second. But I just want to do a little experiment.
And you can ask it, not right now.
Could you do me a favor? Could you sit right there?
Yeah, I'll sit
I
right
just want
here.
to do an experiment.
Hold on.
I feel like it needs to be done.
I need to.
Yeah, just scoot your tail to the side.
Yeah, my tail's in the way.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. This is just
a booze down. Mine's this one over here. Don't drink out of it, all right?
Perfect.
I don't want you to get my herpes.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite part of being at a convention like this. Okay. Ready?
Always.
Right now, me, this guy. Nobody's offering me any modeling contracts, but relatively handsome fella. Here. Thanks so much. Thank you. Thank you. Now watch this. I just turned ugly. No, I agree. That's
Watch
the correct
this.
answer.
Watch
but
this.
Still, it's.
Watch this.
Here, wait.